All right, awesome. Well, everybody, welcome to the Thursday social media coaching or social media marketing for real estate agents coaching call. This is a call that we do every single Thursday at 1 p.m. I am here joined by the incredible Cara McMaster. She's, there goes my phone. And anybody else getting all those spam calls? Like it's nonstop for me, like 20, 30 calls a day. It's horrible. Real estate agents spamming me. But anyways, I'm here with Cara. Cara is probably one of the most successful social media agencies out there that works with tons of real estate agents, including some of the largest teams in the country. So we are honored to have her on this Double Your Income coaching call. So we do 2 calls every single week. We have one on Tuesdays. That one's hosted by Brad Van De Walle. Brad used to run the #1 team at the #1 Remax office in the world. And he comes on that call every day, sharing some of his secrets on how him and his team have done. They did 1,300 transactions last year. They'll do over 2,000 transactions this year, and they share all of their strategies on those calls. So make sure to tune into that call. This call here is specifically focused on social media and everything that has to do with social media. Call number 9 this week, right? Call number 9 or number 8?
Well, technically call like week 8 because we took last week off.
Oh, right. Okay. So week 8. So if you've missed the past calls, make sure to go through those. I dropped the link to the group. The replays are posted in that group. Go take a look at those. We went through everything from sort of some foundational work, how to optimize your profiles, started talking about how to create content. Cara shared some amazing tools on how to build your content, how to come up with some ideas and so on, and then how to batch create your content, which makes things a lot easier. And it's actually one of the only ways to do this. And it's how most of the big YouTubers, TikTokers, and all those other people that are doing, where you've seen them doing content every single day, it's exactly how they do this content. So today, I believe we are diving into some homework that you've had over the past couple of weeks, right? Mm-hmm. But Cara, I'll go ahead and let you take over from here. Let us know what we are talking about today, and then this should be an amazing call.
Cool. Let's get into it. All right. So week 8. So for those again who are new, those just joining on, those who've been with me for the last 8 weeks, let's give you a quick little recap here. The last 8 weeks we have gone over, what should we be focused on in our content? Who should we be talking to? How do we actually use these platforms to generate leads, and why it's so powerful, and why you really should put it at the top of your kind of to-do list. But the whole point here is that I'm a big believer in done is better than perfect. I'm a big believer in execution over everything. So I wanted to come up with the easiest way in the world, in the entire world, of how do you get a month's worth of content done and just get you started. So what I'm going to go over today, it really does depend on what we did in the last upcoming weeks. We have created a content roadmap that has listed out the biggest objections and things that our most ideal clients keeps them up awake at night, so that we can create content that they actually want to engage with and actually want to watch. And then we went ahead and we created that content right on TikTok, because TikTok has one of the most user-friendly editors I think I've ever seen. They make it really easy to use their music, their trending sounds, their trending effects. And then because TikTok is the #1 platform right now in which you can achieve growth, okay, the algorithm is completely different than all the other platforms. We are seeing now what we saw years ago with platforms like Facebook and Instagram, until they completely throttle growth and you can no longer just organically grow as easily. You have to pay to play. Whereas we're not in that stage right now. And TikTok has completely overtaken video views from platforms like YouTube, and is going to very quickly become one of the #1 social media platforms. So it's no longer a place for 13-year-olds. It's absolutely growing in all of the older demographics, and it's only going to continue to go up. So that's some of the reasons why we focus so much on TikTok. But this short form video content is the way of the future. This next couple of years, those who can nail this down, I don't care what industry that you're in, you're going to be the guy who gets to win. So how do we make it on TikTok? And then how do we publish it all out to places like YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels without having to recreate videos or do anything? And how could we just make this process really, really simple? So that is what we did last week. Definitely, if you have not watched that class, go back and just at least learn how to use the TikTok platform in terms of creating the content. It's very, very simple. So by now, what you should have done is you should have created 12 videos, right? Because we're going to schedule 3 videos per week for 4 weeks for the whole month of August. And we went over in last week's class, how do we easily do this so it's all set up in draft mode so that we can just quickly go ahead and just hit publish when it's time to do so. So that's what you should have done. So my question for my favorite people every time I come to Thursday, who created their videos? Let's get a hands up in the chat. Raise your hand. You don't necessarily have to show us. I just want to see who did 12 videos. Okay. Made a start. Okay, Rakesh. Rakesh, man, I knew you would. I knew you'd be one of the people who would say that they got it going. You never.
I got 10. Right. Funny thing is, I got 10 done.
Okay, all right.
I wasn't even I just got motivated by it, And of course, good. Watching, my wife do her stuff. I'm like, you know what, I can do this stuff. Yeah. So I didn't go through the content. Like that tool that you had provided. But I did go, do a little research on topics and things like that. I'm like, all right, I can shoot some quick videos. It took a little while to get going, but once I was, once I got going, I got going. So it took about 3 hours. Yeah. So it's not that difficult. Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. A little vote of confidence from Shane. I've got Mr. Jeremy Tully in the audience raising his hand. Everybody drop a 1 in the chat. So I'm going to drop a 1. I'm going to start it. Give some engagement, drop him a 1, tell him good job. Mr. Jeremy got his videos done. Okay, that means everybody drops a 1. There we go. Ryan's got me. There we go. There we go. Sweet, sweet. Got some engagement going. Awesome. So, okay, I want to know for those who did not do their videos, and this is okay. We're getting a little bit vulnerable. We're going to stay a little, get around the circle together. I want to know why. What's stopping you? So write down in the chat, what is stopping you? Are we not know what we're going to talk about? Are we lack of time? I want to put some strategies together for you guys because we've had 2 weeks. We've had 2 weeks to get our videos done. So let's hear why. Why did you not get your video done? What is stopping you? Rakesh says lack of time. Okay. What else? What are some of the reasons? Are we intimidated by the camera? Are we intimidated at what we're gonna sound like? Yeah, Eva says yes. Okay. All right, cool. We got a few answers coming. I'm behind on homework, don't have clear direction, all of the above. Okay, Beverly. All right. Beverly here, what I would say is, again, I really focus on this 80-20, Pareto principle with all areas of my life. And when it comes down to this, do we want to have these beautiful content roadmaps and know all the deepest, darkest secrets of our people? Yes. But in the meantime, I want you to start getting used to creating and coming up with content because it makes the whole process so much easier when you're doing this on a consistent basis. So just go back to the last couple of weeks. I gave you a whole bunch of hooks. Just create videos from the hooks that I've already given you that attract the sellers and just start creating some videos. Don't worry about making them perfect. Don't worry about getting down to these, that, like I said, doing this big, massive content roadmap. Just try to sit down and come up with 12 videos. So if you go back to the previous week before, we went over the exact hooks that you can use, and we went over exactly how do you just quickly get out a pen and paper and write out what these 12 videos are going to be. So get that started and start creating the videos. Terry says record, delete. Okay. Don't do that, Terry. Come, Terry, we got you here. We don't want to record.
Exactly what I do. Oh my God.
We kind of touched on this a little bit last week, and it's a little bit macabre. And I'm very much into Marcus Aurelius and Stoicism, but at the end of the day, we're all gonna die. No one's really gonna remember anything of what we're here for. And if you can just remember that everybody only ever cares really about themselves or how they look or how they sound, they don't think any of those things about you. And we're here to make money. We're here to make money. And if anybody wants to question, I know Christian Mortuzo, he's spoken a few times in the DYIC program. The man has made over $500,000 in commissions. I'm not talking about gross sales here, guys. I'm talking about commissions, dollar bills in 1 year. And he could literally not post another video for the rest of this year. And that platform on TikTok is still going to deliver him leads on autopilot. Like there is so much money out there waiting for you. Also, if you go back, Christian, if you're watching this later on, you know I love you because you're my client and you do great work. But his earlier stuff is like not the best, right? Like he progressed on the platform. And what you see today is great content, but nobody starts there. No one starts there. So just take that with a little bit of motivation every time that you want to think or you want to put this off or we think that we don't have time. Go and give all those profiles that I gave you guys last week, the Glenda Bakers, the Christian Mortuzos, the Mike Corbett's, the guys who are crushing it, making crazy amounts of commission. Remember that there is a space for you there too. Jeremy says, what you think is the worst video is usually the one. It's so true, Jeremy. That's so true. So true. Let the audience decide, what they want to see and let the platform optimize for it. Armin, looks like you got your question answered there. So you're all set. So, the point here, guys, is try to get the 12 videos done. And the good thing is that we're still here next week. We're still here next week, and we will, this is technically the end of the 8 weeks foundation. I think next week we're going to spend a little bit more time on TikTok because it seems to be the cool kid on the block. But either way, you'll have some time and we can always help you out on these live calls. But by now, to go through this process, we want to have 12 videos edited, their captions, their thumbnails, etc. It's all completed. It is all sitting inside of your TikTok account in draft mode to move into this process. Okay, you don't know how to do that, go back and watch last week. The best times to post on TikTok. These are, I wanted to give you guys this as a resource. This is what we use internally. What I always say is that whenever a platform or myself or whomever gives you best times to post on something, use it as a parameter for about a good month. After that month, what you need to do is go back into your actual analytics and actually take a look to see when are your followers most online and then optimize for those times. But typically this is when we see high spikes in people using the platform. And if you remember how these algorithms work is they show the content to a little bit of people. And if it does well, then they show it to more and more and more. So if you're posting them at these obscure times, you're possibly throttling the ability of that video to do what it needs to do. Yeah, I can. Okay. Let me grab you guys a copy of this week's deck here for you. Let's throw that in the chat. There we go. All right. So what we're going to be using is a program called repurpose.io. Now, repurpose.io, there's so many, you guys. I've used them all, trust me, over the year. There's so many different scheduling tools that are out there. Some obviously are better than others. There is a very specific reason why I picked this one for you. I think that the user experience is really easy. It's very easy to set up profiles. It's very easy to set up what's called workflows, which we're going to go over. But more importantly, it's been really built really well for TikTok specifically. A lot of the platforms don't always have TikTok available as a part of the scheduling, and they just make it really complicated. And like I said, done is better than perfect. If you don't like this, that's okay. If you currently have your own scheduling tool that you know how to use, you like that tool, please, by all means, continue to use that tool. Today's purpose is I'm going to show you how to use repurpose. And I'm going to give you 2 different options on how you can use it. We're going to do a manual version, and we're going to do I just want to be completely hands off and I want nothing to do with this content once I've created it version. So I'm going to go through that both today. So the first things first is obviously you need to get a repurpose account. Okay. So when you sign it up, there will give you a free version. If you're going to sign up, I'm a marketer. I've got an affiliate link for you to use today. I would love a little bit of love back. Shane, don't worry. We'll work you out here, but, you can set up for free or you can pay for a paid account. I think it starts at like $12 a month, goes up to like $25 a month. If you want to do some of the stuff I'm going to show you today, just on auto publishing, I believe you need the $25 a month thing, but it's well worth the cost, guys. Well worth the cost. So first things first, go in and set up your account. The next thing that you need to do is you need to set up what's called connections, right? So all the different places of where you want this content to either pull from or post to. As you can see here, I know that you guys have it's always not as large on your end, but there are many different sources of which you can do this from. So you can do it from podcasting, you can do it from Zoom, you can do it from Instagram, Pinterest, you can send an SRT file to your website. I mean, we can get really, really fancy here, guys. There's so much you can do. One video can turn into many different ways. They even have a little university that you can go through so that if you want to get so freaking fancy that like it creates templates and puts like captions on there for you, I mean, do it to it. But today, what I have for you is the most simplest and easiest, most effective way where you are most likely to see growth on which of the channels and in the distribution method I'm going to show you today. So you want to do 80-20, follow what I say. You want to get fancy, you're on your own. All right. So create these connections. So these are the 4 connections that you're going to want to set up. You want to set up your YouTube channel because it's going to pop out onto YouTube Shorts. Now, obviously set up our TikTok. We're going to set up our Instagram and we're going to set up Google Drive. Okay. Because again, I'm showing you 2 different methods today, one manual, one publishing. Hassan, you will get the recording for this. It will come out on Monday in the Facebook group. So if you want to get this done over the weekend, please take some good solid notes and be ready to ask some questions once we open the floor. You'll notice here that there is no Facebook because I want you to put these onto Reels. Right now, Repurpose does not allow you to choose the Reels destination. The type of content that you are making for these is a TikTok, right? So it goes on to Facebook Reels, it can go on to Instagram Reels, and you can go on to YouTube Shorts. Luckily, YouTube's very smart. And when they see a short form long video, they will automatically put it into the YouTube Shorts. It won't come up as a regular YouTube video. They're smart like that. And then with Instagram, you do have the option to choose Instagram Reels or an Instagram post of how it puts it out. So basically what we're doing here, I'll just back it up for a second, is it'll recognize every single time that we post a TikTok and it'll push it out for us onto those channels. So again, we do not choose Facebook because if you choose the Facebook connection here, it's just going to push it out into a regular video. You don't want to do that because if we go back a few weeks on when I was teaching you guys about the differences between the algorithms of the different social media platforms, Facebook, when they put out just a regular video or regular post, it's completely reliant upon the audience that you have built for that Facebook page versus the Reels on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. The views do not come from your existing audience. They come from what's called like the For You page. The Instagram and Facebook haven't really called it For You page because they, even though they rip off everybody for everything, that's the one word they haven't attached themselves to. But it's the similar type of algorithm where it's trying to find users based on their browsing experience, their demographic, and their region. That'll push that out too. So that's why we do not have Facebook here as an option to automatically push that out too. And that's why today I've given you 2 different ways to do this so that you choose which way. And we'll talk about, what's the positives and what's the negatives, and everything that I'm saying will make sense in about 5 minutes. So once you have set these up, so what you're going to do is here we are in Repurpose. This is connections. So just keep in mind here, guys, there is this. Once you sign up for an account, they'll give you access to their repurposing course. It's all right. If you want to go for it, go for it. But what I'm going to show you today, if you just watch it a couple of times, you won't need this stuff. First, you're going to go to connections, then you're going to set up the connections that I've given you here. So we're going to set up YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Google Drive. Google Drive is really cool because you can dump every time you make a video, you can dump it into your Google Drive. So again, to do that, it's just really simple. And they've made it's so simple, you guys. It's so cool. Let's say you want to do TikTok. You open up TikTok and you hit connect. And then you can add you can go through with it what's like a QR process, right? So it's already set up so you can't see it, but what it's going to allow you to do is you open up the profile on your TikTok, and the little left-hand corner on TikTok on your phone is like a little icon of a person with a plus sign. You just hit that and you'll have the option to have a scan of a barcode. So just a regular QR code, you just scan that and it's going to automatically create the connection for you, which is really, really cool. So you don't have to have any technical know-how to do this, guys. Just within a couple of clicks, you're going to have that all set up for you. And then you're going to repeat that process for your YouTube, your Instagram, and your Google Drive. Google Drive is a little bit different because you just connect it to your Google account, and then you'll just have to choose a destination for it, right? So just create a new folder, and I just call it, my downloaded TikToks. All right. So once we have those connections built up, then you want to come in, you want to create what's called a workflow. So workflow is a very common terminology used in the marketing world when we are creating things that are automatically connected, and they are an automated process. So this means that here with the workflow that we want to build is a TikTok to Google Drive, a TikTok to YouTube Reels, and a TikTok to Instagram. Okay. So if we come back over here to repurpose, and you come up here, this is workflows. So again, the workflows are how you want to make the two programs kind of talk to each other. You come here, create a new workflow, and you're going to name it. So it's like, I'm going to say like TikTok to YouTube Shorts. Okay. So you can see like if there's, like I said, there's many different ways that you can use this, right? Like if you're doing a podcast, you can automatically throw your podcast onto YouTube. If you're doing, Facebook Lives, you can do it automatically over. There's many different ways that you can do it, but today what I'm showing you is for TikTok. Cindy, repurpose.io, yes, it's an online software. Exactly. It's just a piece of software that just makes it really easy to connect everything together. So come in here, choose your source type. So we always start from TikTok because we're making all of our content for TikTok because of the reasons that I gave you earlier. So hit TikTok, it'll choose the connection, hit next. And then it's every time I upload a video, right? And then just choose full video because that's the way that we're doing everything. Hit next. And then you choose your destination, right? So if you do not see the destination here, it's probably because you haven't made the connection. So make sure that the connection already exists before you go through the process of creating the workflow. Then you just choose where it wants to go. So I'm going to say Instagram, and then which Instagram account. The other thing, the one thing about this process is, see how it says business account. If your Instagram account is a personal, they won't be able to connect. It has to be a business account, but your TikTok does not. And then you can choose whether you want it to go to feed or reels. But again, this is all short form TikTok content. So we're going to choose the reels destination, and then you hit done. I'm just not going to do that now because I've already actually set this up. So once you have finished, your workflows should have Google Drive, YouTube Reels, and Instagram workflow. Remember, not Facebook, because if you choose Facebook, it's just going to post it as a regular video, and that's not what we want. Okay, there are two ways to set this up. So I promised you guys when you started this at the beginning, is repurpose available to everyone? Why to Google Drive? Great questions, both Beverly and Cindy. Thank you. Let's go with why Google Drive. I'm going to show you why Google Drive in a moment, because versus one of these methods, I want you guys to be posting onto Facebook Reels. And this just makes it a nice, tidy, easy way that every single time that you post a TikTok, it's going to automatically push that video into Google Drive. And when you, if you were to just download a video, TikTok makes it really easy. And they say, do you want to download this video? And you're like, yeah, of course I want to download this video. And you hit download. It will push it out with a watermark. And when you put that watermark on that video and you post it anywhere else, like Instagram or Facebook, the algorithm does not like you for it. And it will downgrade that video, and it just won't be seen as many people because it's got that big old watermark on it. So when you use this repurpose method, you don't have to then download it from TikTok. It'll automatically download it for you, put it in Google Drive without that stamp, so that you can push it out to Facebook. So we want to use Facebook Reels because, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I had a reel go viral. It did like 380 views on TikTok, not much. And then it picked up a whole bunch of steam on Facebook Reels and got over 500,000 views. So that's why I like putting that stuff out there. But until repurpose.io has the Reels placement, like they did here with what I showed you on Instagram, where you can choose whether it goes to posts or whether it goes to Reels, it's allowing you to choose. I just haven't done that for Facebook yet. So until that time, I push everything out onto the Google Drive in order to be able to easily download it without that watermark. Okay. Cindy asks, is repurpose.io available to everyone? It sure is. It sure is, Cindy. I'm sure they'd love the whole world to use it. We've really only recently found this this platform. I used to use a platform called SnapTik to download all my TikToks, but then it was a very manual process. And this just automates the heck out of everything. And I love automation. All right, so back to here, there are two ways to set this up, right? So I promised you guys at the beginning of this course that I wanted you to be able to go away for your vacations in August and not have to worry about your content and have it all pre-published. But I also wanted to show you a way in which that you could easily execute on this, that this is not something that's going to, take you 2 weeks to do, that I literally want you to be able to, in one single day, create all of your content, come up with all the ideas, shoot the content, edit the content, and then post it all, and then say, bye-bye, thank you, I did my job for today. And then just manage the comments as they come in, right? That's a nice place to be. But I also wanted to give you if I were to do it, here's me keeping in mind that I want to save time and keeping in mind that I want to be as effective as possible, because I do want to do this so that it grows an audience, that it actually brings me in leads. So I have two options on how you can use repurpose.io software. So option A is the option that I suggest. So just keep in mind, this option is not going to automatically push it out to Facebook, because we do not want to push it out as a video. We want to put it in as a reel. So step one, all of your videos have been uploaded. They're captioned. They are ready to go. And you're going to manually publish out your content based on this time. So I would just go ahead and I would create various alarms on various days. So I would create an alarm for 10 p.m. on Monday. I'd create an alarm for Tuesday at 9 a.m., Wednesday, Thursday, and so forth, right? You get the point. Every single day, the days that you choose to post are the best days to post. If we're just posting the 3 times per week, like I told you to, they are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Okay, that's typically what we find in terms of highest engagement. But remember what I said at the beginning of this is that after you've been consistently doing this for a month, you absolutely should be checking your analytics to decide, is that the best time for you? Because is that when your demographic, your users, your people who have engaged, is that when they're most online? That's what we want to be able to answer. But that is the best options that for you there is that pick the time, set the alarms. And then that way the 12 videos that you have uploaded, caption, thumbnail, ready to go. So again, for those who weren't here last week, we went over exactly how to do this process and have all the videos just ready to go, right, sitting in our drafts, right in TikTok. Those are all done. Then we want to come in and we want to turn on auto publishing for Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and Google Drive. Okay, so that's where we come back over here. And that's this little button here, right? So by turning this on, I'm not going to do that because it's going to try and push out all of my content automatically over to TikTok. And I don't want to do that right now. It's going to take, because what happens is let's say you have a whole bunch of older content on your TikTok account and you hit auto publish. It's going to try and put all of the content that you've done from past. So I'm not going to do that right now. But you'll turn this on. And every time now you publish something on TikTok, it's going to automatically put it on Google Drive. It's going to automatically put it onto your YouTube short reels, and it's going to automatically put it onto Instagram workflows. Now it's going to contradict a little bit about what I said a few weeks ago, where in an ideal world, when you post something on Facebook or posting on TikTok and you want to put it also out on Instagram, in an ideal world, you would not do it in the same day, in the same moment, because there's a very good chances that somebody follows you on Facebook also follows you on Instagram. And it's really nice for them to receive the same message, but a few days apart, because it just comes into their head a whole lot better. But we are living in the world right now of the 80-20 effect. And out of the 80-20 effect, just pushing it right out and just getting this process done is where I want you guys to be. And so you're going to turn on auto publishing for just these 3 workflows. Okay. Each day that you, when you publish that video, it's going to go right into Google Drive, right? So that's when we open up our Google Drive, and then we take it and we post it into Facebook Reels. Who here has not posted something on Facebook Reels before or does not know how? Okay, a whole bunch of people. Okay. Give me 2 seconds here, guys. Let me roll up my phone here. We'll get screen recording up on my phone, and I'll show you guys how we do that process. While I'm pulling this up, just give me a hot minute here. Do we have any questions while I'm queuing this up? Cindy, yeah, everything will be recorded. It's all in the Facebook group. Just type in the hashtag DYIC Thursdays and you'll see every single week with all the slides are done there for you. There we go. Thank you, Shane.
Recording in progress.
Oh, 1 second there, guys. I got to turn off the sound, otherwise we're going to have all kinds of feedback. All right. So let's open up Facebook and I'll show you what is going on. So obviously you have to be on your mobile to do this, right? You can't be on a desktop to post this. Let me share my screen. All right, let's see here. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're going to go into Facebook. Okay, so here is my Facebook right here. Here's all my cool friends and all their cool stories. And then see at the very top here where it says stories and then reels. So if you just literally click on reels, and then all of the reels will be there for you and you just hit create reel, right? And then I just did a TikTok this morning because this was trending. Now, see how it's got the watermark on it? That's what I'm talking about, guys. So I had done when you post, it'll automatically often download it right into your phone. But that's the watermark that I'm talking about. So I wouldn't want to post it like this because that's going to hurt it in the algorithm. But let's just do it for sake of training. All I do is I just hit next. And then here is where you can put in your caption and your hashtags. You can literally just have the exact same caption, the exact same hashtags you have used from the original post to bring that over. And then we go ahead and we post. So it's literally that simple. Any questions on posting the story, the reel to Facebook? Sweet. Let's go ahead and stop sharing that. And we'll just keep that open in case we need to get back on there for them. So, Dali, can you share a link to the content roadmap template? So Dali, if you have the slide deck for that week, I think we covered it in week 4. It's right in the slide deck for you. There's a version there that you can download, copy, and make your own. Once the link you can use for Facebook is so up to 60 seconds. So keep everything under 60 seconds because it's what Instagram wants as well. And really, like on TikTok, you can go over, but I don't recommend it because you are being completely judged on your watch time, your total watch time, right? So and the percentage of it too, right? So if you're getting people, you have at least 3 minutes. YouTube works the same way. You get these like people who come on, and they're only watching a small percentage of it. Then it's a bad signal to the algorithm. So keep it under 60 seconds. Sometimes like we do these TikToks that are like 7 seconds, they'll just like blow up. I don't have the slide deck. Where can I get it? So Dali, if you go back to the Facebook group and you DYIC Thursdays, and then you search week 4, with the live recording, it'll have the slide deck on there. All right, so let's go back to here. All right, so now you've gone and you have made your connections and you have downloaded it into Google Drive. And now we're going to place the Facebook reel. Okay, that's next step number 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last step here is just to give that is a little bit of extra love, is to repost it onto your IG stories and Facebook stories. So actually I'm glad we kept the phone open because I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So there's Instagram makes this experience. Okay. When I say experience, I mean like the user experience of when they see the reel in as a story. really good. Facebook hasn't gone up on this yet, so I'm going to show you what I do for both. So let's go into Instagram. Oh wait, I should probably share my screen first. That would help. Hey. Okay, there we go. All right, so if we go to Instagram and go to my profile, and then you can see what is the story, what is the reel, right? Because it has the little play button in the right-hand corner. That's a reel versus not just a regular video post. So what you can do is pull that up, okay? And then down at the bottom here where the little like airplane arrow, hit that, and then add reel to your story, hit that, okay? And then it comes up here. The reason why we don't want to just take a reel and have it like blown out like that is that number one, an Instagram story is only 15 seconds and chances are pretty good that it's going to cut it off. And what we're not trying to do is we're not trying to just get video views on that specific. We're trying to get views on the reel. And what we want is people going over to the reel to watch the entire thing, right? So you can also do this with other reels on the platform too. If you want to share somebody else's reel, you can do that. But this is when like you can say an extra little something like, you're not going to believe number 3 or something like that. Or, you know, this was a fun one or whatever you want to add a little quip to it. But the point is that we want to get people over to watch the entire reel, not just a TikTok. So that's how I would share that story. If we're going to do it on Facebook, okay, let's go back. And we'll go to, nope. And we're going to go to my reels. Okay, so these are all the reels that I've posted. So let's say we were on this reel here. So there are like 10,000 iterations of Facebook. So what I would do is I would create a story, not from the reel, but I come in here. And don't stop, shoot shot, go out. And I make it smaller.
Fab
like
5 Freddy told me everybody's fly. DJ's spinning, I said my.
And don't stop. Because if you just share the reel, the reel itself, all they'll do is they'll just take a snapshot, like a thumbnail, and it's not actually like a video playing. And it's not a very good experience. So I'm waiting for Facebook to catch up, but they're slowly making more and more of an importance towards the reels placement on Facebook. We're seeing more and more of that happen there. So that's what I would do with those two pieces there, right? So remember, we're still on option A. So we have figured out that 3 days a week, our alarm is going to go off and it's going to tell us, go publish the video. All you have to do. So if you're sitting there with your dinner or, you know, you're at a showing, you can literally just hit 2 buttons and it'll post it, right? You're not having to think about it. And then later on, when you've got time later on in the day, go into your Google Drive folder and you're going to push it onto Facebook Reels. And then you're going to make an Instagram story and you're going to make a Facebook story. So that one video went to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and then you got a Facebook story and you got an Instagram story. So one video just became 7 pieces of content, which is like really, really freaking cool. That's my best suggestion. That is the best use of your time. It's the easiest way to get things out. That is what I suggest you to do. Option 2, Tom, I'll go into that. We'll cover that. That's a great question. We'll cover that in about 2 seconds here. Option 2, because I promised you guys that you would have the ability to not have to watch it. Let's say you're like me, hopefully in 2 weeks, I'm going to go to the cottage and I don't have cell phone reception. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to nobody. I want to go completely off the grid. Then you're going to operate like this. You're going to have the 12 videos that you have already done. And I want you to push them all out. Don't wait to push them out 3 kind of per week. I would push out ideally like 1 per day is what I would do. You could even do 2 per day. Heck, you can do 3 per day. But the point here is that before you go away on vacation, you need to have them already on TikTok profile, already published out, because you're going to now schedule this. Okay. So let's say you're going to set it all up for your YouTube first. Come in here, view content. Ram, and the name of the Facebook group is Shane will post it here. He'll give you the link. It's the real estate marketing group. So when you've connected your TikTok account, all of your videos are going to show up here, right? So now we can come in and we can choose. So we go publish, Okay. And you can do it manually. You can push it through now, or you can hit and you can schedule it, right? So that's where you would schedule. My recommendation, if you're doing this for August, 3 videos per week onto each of the platforms. So you'll need to do that each time. You need to do that for your YouTube, and you do that for your Instagram reels. Now, the drawback with this, right, is this means that you're not automatically publishing to your Facebook account. You're not able to make those additional stories, but that's okay. That's okay, because when you come back from your vacation in August, go back to suggestion number 1, because it is the best use of your time. It is the most effective way to use resources and still be able to grow accounts and grow audiences. So I'm just giving you a couple of screenshots here to show you how to do that, because you're going to want to do that this week and go and get that set up. All right. So just to summarize here, guys, option A is to push it out on all channels with some manual little posting. Means every day, not every day, sorry, 3 times a week. You're just going to be paying attention to that alarm. And when you get a chance, push it out onto Facebook, create those stories, right? 1 video equals 7 different placements. Option B, be totally hands off, create all the 12 videos, get them all published and pushed out onto TikTok, and then set up the automatic scheduling to post that out onto your Instagram reels and onto your YouTube shorts. Just keep in mind, you won't have any of the stories and the other things I talked about. So your homework for today is, number 1, there's a link to go and sign up. You can get a free account, like I said. But to do some of the fun, cool stuff that I'm showing you today, you're going to need the paid account, but it's well worth it. Set up your connections of your various social media platforms, set up your workflows so that it knows where it's taking that content, and then set up and start publishing your content so that next week you can come back and you can see me and you can ask me for questions. I can help fix some things for you, whatever it is you want to get some sort of a result done, so that you can get my expertise help. Because if you come to me one-on-one, I charge a pretty penny, but in this setting, I ain't charging you guys nothing. So I want to see you guys really utilizing that time. So that is how you guys are going to take August off while staying right in front of your audience and growing an audience while you are at the cottage doing your best thing. And for our American friends online, it's just like going to a cabin. I've been getting lots of questions about this past week about what a cottage is. And I forget how ingrained that is into our Canadian culture, and our American friends don't always know. Questions, comments, concerns? Hit me with what you got. Ryan says thumbs up. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. Cool. All right. Well, this would be the time to open up the floor. If you need help with the setup, if you want to get it done right now and share your screen in case you get stuck, you have me for the next 10 minutes.
Everybody's a pro.
Right? All right. Tom says, could you use TikTok to build an expertise of a certain city? Absolutely. This kind of goes back to understanding like how the algorithm works and what makes it so powerful, and why this is so achievable with a platform like TikTok. So number 1, the For You page is what you see on that For You page. So when you're scrolling on when you're scrolling on TikTok, none of these people you follow, they've given you 2 versions. There's one that's the For You page, and there's one that's the people that you follow. And you can toggle between the 2 of them quite easily, but typically the default setting is to view videos from your For You page. These are people you've not met before. And TikTok chooses what videos that you see, and it will make those decisions based on a few things. So number 1, your geography, right? Where are you located? It has a big part. They want to show you the pizza guy down the road. They don't want to show you the guy who's the national chain. The next thing here is your demographics, right? So if you're a young 13-year-old girl, it's going to show you other young 13-year-old girls on the platform. If you are an older millennial, you're going to see older millennials style of content. The next big thing here is the actual cookies that are stored within their browser, as well as what other content have they been engaging with on the platform, because its entire job is to keep them there as long as humanly possible. So it needs to make sure that the content is matching it up with it perfectly. The next big signal that we're seeing that plays a part is SEO. So we're still doing some research into this. I'll have a little bit more for you guys next week when we do a little bit more of a breakdown on TikTok. But as search engine optimization is becoming a bigger part. So what we're seeing is that when you're really, really niching down into these different avatars, just like I tell you guys about, it has an innate ability to match that content with the right person who really wants to take engagement with that. So you can absolutely build it, if there's an area that you farm within the city, if there is you're really into crypto, NFT, real estate, or you're big in the divorce category, that's where we're seeing some of these accounts can really pop off, where it builds you as that person for that one specific niche. So absolutely, what I would say to that, Tom, is you want to become an expert of a certain city, to do with what? Is it relocating? Is it young families? Is it, executives? Like there are things within there that great marketing is always going to go down to what keeps your most ideal clients up at night. What are the biggest questions that they have? Because if you can solve them for them, that is where great marketing comes from. Beverly says, can you go back to Facebook and show where the reel picks up the vid? Will it automatically show up in my gallery? Well, can you tell me what you mean more by that, Beverly? I'm confused. Relocation, but more of the amenities in the area. Yeah. So there's a couple ways that people relocate, right? There's people that relocate because of like their headquarters is moving. And so they're moving with like the entire company. There are people because they went online. There are people because they don't want to pay crazy California state taxes anymore. So again, kind of figure out like who within that you want to serve to help with the relocation, because the answers that those 3 different avatars that I just mentioned are going to be different between each of them. And that's okay to have 3 different avatars within relocation if that's what you want to do. But again, that's where I want you guys to go when you're thinking about your content and you're thinking about the hooks and what you should be talking about. Those are the kinds of points that need to come to top of mind. Where does Google Drive show the reel? Was it just a drop down option? Okay, so before you make the connection for Google Drive, just make a little folder that says TikTok posts in your Google Drive so that you can find that folder, and then all of the videos will spit out into that folder there, Beverly. Okay, awesome. Who's going to commit to getting their 12 videos done by next week? Let's see you in the chat. Who is committing to getting 12 videos done so that Terry, I knew it. Marcelino, thank you. Love it. I'm going to hold you guys to this. I'm excited to see what you guys got. Rakesh. Yeah. 12 yes, Cindy, 12 TikToks. We're doing it. We're getting her done. We're growing that audience. I'm telling you guys, the time is now. Honestly, there's so many times that people are like, I wish I got into Google AdWords when it was cheap. I wish I got into Facebook ads when it was cheap. I wish I grew my audience when it was easy to grow. And that time is now on TikTok, and you will be kicking yourself in the tushy in a year from now if you didn't take this opportunity to grow now. Do they have to be? No, Terry, no, they do not have to be real estate. So here's the thing. We went over this a little bit when we were talking about our hooks last week, but I love using Christian as an example. And this idea of bringing in characters into your TikToks, and as well as like just really exploring what your people want from you, right? So you don't have to make all kinds of, just real estate content. In fact, I implore you not to. The first 12 TikToks that you do, I would like to see them kept around real estate, because these are the types, the deepest, darkest questions and desires of what they have. Those are the types of TikToks that bring in the leads. And when you have a really great performing video, what I'm going to show you guys is how to pin that. So when somebody comes to your page, they know what you're all about, and they know that you're their realtor, you're their go-to person. But an overall great TikTok strategy does incorporate more of what your avatars are into. So for example, Christian Mortuzo has a very affluent audience, and they're into luxury stuff. So it made a whole heck of a lot of sense to be featuring content when he went to like his Porsche day, or content about his like fancy luxury shoe collection that he has, because his people are into that. And I had a conversation with a really great realtor last week, and she was really she had a pink Jeep. She loved her pink Jeep, and it was in so much of her content. And that's where we had to have a conversation. It was like, are your clients also into Jeep? Are they Jeep lovers? Because if they are Jeep lovers, absolutely make content about that Jeep of yours. But if no one's ever asking about it, no one's ever talking about it, nobody ever chose you because you were also a Jeep person, don't make it, right? Another client I had last week, he was really, really into fitness. It was a big, big part of his life. And I said, well, how, like on a percentage wise, how many of your clients would you say are also physically fit, that they also put fitness above as top of their day. And he was like, yeah, about 70%. And I was like, bro, you need to be making more content about fitness. It's not to say I should go onto your page and now I'm going to think that you're a fitness trainer, but it definitely needs to be a part of it. So find little ways of which like your clients that you can further relate to them, that you can also create content around. Destiny, I won't lie, this is all very new for me and I'm nervous, but I don't know much besides what you taught today. So Destiny, what I would definitely go is start from the beginning, from week 1. Don't get too, there's quite a few weeks in there, but there were some weeks in there that we just did an open office hours where we just came in and asked questions. So you don't necessarily have to watch those. But what I will say is, you just have to get started. You just have to get started. No, it's hard when you go down this road. It's hard when you don't know, but it's like, even though I hate quoting Will Smith now after his little debacle that he pulled a few months ago, he had a really great quote about when he was with his father. And it was this idea of like, he wanted him to build a wall. And Will Smith was like, I can't build a wall. I'm never going to build this wall. This wall is never going to be finished. And what his dad just wanted him to focus on was like, you're just going to place one brick. We're just place one brick at a time. But when you do, you make sure that that brick is just placed as perfectly as you possibly can in that moment. And then before you know it, you've built a wall, right? So that's the way that you really have to approach it, is just with consistency, that each day, you're going to find your way. And then after a year of posting, you too could be like the Mike Corbett's, the Christian Mortuzos, where you've built this huge audience of people. And now you own a channel that you don't have to pay Facebook for, that you don't have to pay Zillow for, that you own this audience, that you have built out a place so that if God forbid we go into this recession, as everybody's talking about, you find ways that you can really rely on the brand and audience that you have, so that you have a lever that you can pull and know that I'm going to make X number of deals this year. That's where I want you to go. So is it hard? Sure. Be glad that it's hard, because all these other realtors out there who want to take a back seat, they don't want to work on their stuff. They're going to take those back seats while you were out there crushing it on TikTok. If y'all didn't know you were coming here for a motivational talk today, then I don't know. So Eva, we're going to cover a little more TikTok on the coming week. So we are good. I got you there.
I think the best thing is to do too, for anybody that's, new here, has missed a couple of the other calls. There's probably, I think there's probably 3, maybe 4 of the previous calls that are probably important. The one where, Car talks about creating content. So the content roadmap would probably be one of the important ones. And then the batch creation, I think you went over creating content again on that one. And then if you're not familiar with TikTok or how to use TikTok, that would have been our last call. So 2 weeks ago, where Carl went through step-by-step on how to use TikTok. But again, it's not necessarily how to use, I mean, if you haven't started yet, even just creating 12 pieces of content is a good start. Even just taking your camera, figuring out, okay, here are 12 topics. This is exactly what I did. Like it was 2 weeks ago. And I'm like you guys, man. I hate doing this stuff. Where's my, I don't know. I had, oh, here it is. Nope. Hang on, I got it. Anyways, I just sat down and I made a list. And then the other thing that I do, oh, here it is. Yeah, look how bad this, I don't know if you can see this, but it's so like, okay, here are the list of topics, right? And every time like I thought about something, or I watched somebody's video, or somebody posted a question about, I'm like, I can do a video about that, with that question, or like I scan the Facebook groups and all, whatever, right? And so I just made this list. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 videos. And I think I shot 8 in one day, and it once I had the topics, once I had that hook and what I needed to talk about, it was really, really simple, just hold up my phone. Like I wasn't using the TikTok app, nothing. I just got it done. I still haven't published the videos yet, but at least I got the hard part out of the way.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys got some value out of that today. You're welcome, Destiny. You're welcome. All right. I'm excited to see what you guys come in with next week. I want to see some videos next week. I want to help you guys out. I want you to use this time. You came in here and you gave us a full hour of your time. So go get an ROI from that.
Absolutely. All right. Well, with that, thanks again, Car, for jumping on these calls. Always a great amount of value that you add. Hopefully everybody that's here has enjoyed the call, and you're going to return here next week. What are we talking about next week?
We're going to start the TikTok. Y'all,
More TikTok.
We're gonna hang out on TikTok. I'm gonna teach you guys the ins, the outs, what really works. This week, I just wanted to get this 12 videos done, but we're gonna start on really how do you perform and create great content on TikTok, and a little bit more about the algorithm works, all that good stuff.
Awesome, good stuff. And a reminder to everybody that's here. I know most, I would say 98% of you are all real estate agents. Just a reminder, Car and her team do this as a living. Not that, we're here to promote anything or any services or anything like that, but there is, I believe, Car, you have some availability for any real estate agents out there that want to blow up their business. You've got a few different packages available. Just make sure to reach out directly to Cara if you're interested in that. That can save you a ton of time, and Cara and her team will do a great job for you guys. So I think with that, unless there's any other questions, we will wrap this up. Again, thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. Come back next Thursday with your 12 videos, and we'll see if we can help you out more. Cara, it's been a pleasure. As usual.
All right, guys. Take care.
We'll have to catch up. All right, guys.
Bye.
Take it easy. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.